Hey guys, I just really recently finished a TV series, and that would be Hellsing Ultimate, and I really want to do a dissection on it because it's rare that I watch a show and I think about it so much after it's over, especially since the show itself. I mean, technically each episode is about 40, 50 minutes each, so roughly an hour. But there was only 10 episodes, and they basically it's all said and done. Although they are making a prequel series slash manga, which is not yet finished, Hellsing the Dawn. However, I just wanted to do my brief dissection on it because of the fact that I was just so into it. There was so much to look at and talk about. It was just freaking amazing. And I'm pretty sure this before. I'm not usually an anime man. I mean, I've definitely watched a lot of anime in my time, although not near as much as probably a lot of anime. I don't know what to even call it, fan base. Like, just anime fans, I guess, in general. Of course, I've watched a few. I mean, to name a few that I've watched, of course, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. I'm in the process of watching Dragon Ball Super. I've enjoyed Death Note. I've watched a lot of the Gundam series. And, of course, there's a few others like Fairy Tail I do enjoy watching from time to time. But this one just really spoke to me and watched it because I was already a fan of the horror genre, and to see anime's take on it was very fascinating. I first watched this. I do give credit to the people at what's the name, Team Four Star, because it was because of a bridge series I watched. The first thing I watched was the Hellsing Christmas special that they made. Now this is an interesting character, and as I started watching the Hellsing Bridge series, I watched the first episode. I watched like the first, I think, 3 or 4 episodes. Like, man, this seems like a really interesting storyline. It was kind of like the old classic horror movies mixed with the Blade film type atmosphere, and it was made it really freaking interesting. So that before he, and then of course that a bridge series hit its end. Till now, I suppose. I guess they're making a new episode like in December, and then so I just went, and bought the actual freaking Blu-ray packs. It's odd because the first one is like episode 1 through 4, and then the second one's like I think 5 through 8, and then the last one's 9 and 10. And watch the series in its entirety in HD glory, and holy cow! From beginning to end, it's freaking epic. It's amazing. There's so much tragedy, character growth, emotion, fantastic music. Just a whole lot to freaking love about the series. It's just, where would I even begin? Well, of course, I begin with episode 1. Of course, there's 10 episodes, so I'm going to be doing a 10 episode dissection myself, starting with, of course, episode 1. And I believe at the time these appeared, at first, they appeared every once a year. So the very first episode of this came out in 2006. And this was after the Hellsing anime itself had already finished up. But if anybody knows the difference, or they do not, I'll enlighten you the fact that the Hellsing anime came out years before the OVA, the original video animation. The anime itself was being made before the manga was even completely finished, so it had an entirely different antagonist in the actual manga. I believe his name was, what was it again? Incognito. I watched the first few episodes of the anime series, but I did not finish it. For whatever reason, I think I was busy at the time, and then I decided to go watch Hellsing Ultimate. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was very confused. I watched Hellsing, the first like few episodes of Hellsing, the anime, and then I watched Hellsing OVA, and I was like, wait, what the hell's going on? The animation style is completely different. The voice acting is the same, but certain characters are missing, like the general who's like instructing Saris on how to, shoot with her third eye or whatever. I was just so confused, and then I found out, oh, there's 2 different series, and then eventually they start spinning off into their own stories once they get around to the third, at least for the OVA, the 3rd or 4th episode. I mean, well, actually, yeah, about episode 3, it starts going off into its own, like, the manga storyline, while as the anime series goes off into its incognito storyline, will all incorporate some things from the manga, like the Valentine brothers. So, if I didn't confuse you already, the basic point is I'll be reviewing the OVA series, the 10 episode series that came out after the manga was completed and after the anime itself was completed, which ran for about 20 episodes. But those are your standard, 30-minute, 20-minute episodes. So, with all that out of the way, let's dissect episode 1. And the basic point of this one is to introduce the main players. Well, at least I can say this, the main protagonist of the series. And here you meet the characters of Sarah's Victoria, the police girl, she's so infamously called, basically a policewoman who, while on a mission, I believe it's somewhere in Britain, she encounters a vampire. All her friends are killed by said vampire, who then threatens to rape and kill her. And then from there, though, she is, I guess, somewhat saved / somewhat damned by Alucard himself, the quintessential badass, the blade of the series, who comes in, shoots a bullet through not only herself and the vampire before finally finishing him off. However, that is the point where he turns her into a vampire because she's a virgin, and she becomes his servant and he her master. So that begins their interesting relationship. Then also we get to meet Walter C. Dornez, one of my favorite characters. And then I believe probably the last major character we meet in this episode specifically would be Alexander Anderson. Alexander Anderson is basically the foil to Alucard. They are similar in a lot of ways, but also different in a lot of ways. Both of them are they're both the ace card of the organization they represent. Alucard represents the Hellsing organization, which I should say is headed by Sir Integra Hellsing, but I'll get into that. While Alexander Anderson is the head of the Iscariot organization, which is headed by the Vatican itself. So basically, it's two different